Well, hello, welcome to Talking About Speedway, and what a big weekend of Speedway it was. Con Migro, welcome to the program.
G'day, Graham. It was a fabulous night of Speedway. Mind you, I've never been so cold in my life as I've at the Motorplex, but be that as it may, it was a sensational race, Vinny, and we've got so much to talk about. We could probably fill half a dozen shows with just last Saturday night.
Goodness me, you're not wrong there. Con, second night of the season, that was probably as good as entertainment for Speedway that you'd get anywhere at any time.
Yes,
the Westernapolis event I'm talking about.
You're dead right. And event number one was a late model race. Now, where in the history of the sport have you had a big car like that sending off the program? So it just gives you an example of how good the racetrack was after being washed out on the Friday night and then getting down there on Saturday night and bringing out an absolute barn burner of a track. It was just magnificent.
Yeah, indeed. Con, Kaiden Manders wins his 5th West Australian Speedcar Championship. How good is that?
Well, when you just said that, I can't believe it. But the young man, he's just in a total class of his own, and he was magnificent on the night. He blew all his opposition off, and his car went impeccably. He drove like to total perfection, and he's truly one of the greats of the West Australian Speedway, and such a young age still. You can virtually say he's got another 20 years ahead of him in racing, and Lord only knows what he's going to win between now and the end of his career.
Con, I'd have to say Kaiden Manders is one of the finest speedcar drivers in Australia, in my view.
Yeah.
And with more experience on the US scene, I think he'd be competitive over there.
Oh, yes. Look, they were unfortunate last year when they went there for that time, Indiana Speed Week, and they got washed out half the show. So they never really had a chance to really show how good they really are. But I'm like you. I think he's got a huge potential still. And although he's in his early 20s, he's got just a magnificent driver.
Kaiden Manders first, Keenan Fleming, what a great drive he put in, and Harry Stewart, the young Queenslander from in the Graeme Jones team, I should say, bringing up the 3rd place, and he was the defending champion.
Yeah, two very good drivers. Keenan has turned the corner. His mum and dad have bought him a brand new motor for this year, and it's paying dividends. And young Harry, he tried his hard, as he said after the race when he was doing the presentation with Chris Mitchell. He was saying just how difficult it is to come across to Perth and try and win with the type of races that we've got in West Australia. And I thought that was very nice that he said that.
Well, there's some more slides up there, Con. Kaiden Manders with his first place and his winner's check. Keenan Fleming down on the bottom up there. As I said, a great performance. Kaiden Manders' car there, you can see it all hooked up to the left-hand front wheel off the ground, and poor old Alfie upside down. I don't think he deserved that. That was just an unfortunate accident.
Yeah, he was trying to avoid something and got himself into trouble, but that's the type of guy he is. But fortunately, he's A-OK, and that's the main thing. And, also when he's talking about the track, as as the meeting went on, the track started to even dial in even better. And so that's probably why in the big A mains on the night, we saw 3 fabulous races.
Absolutely. Excuse me, Con. Now, Con, while we were down there on Saturday afternoon before the meeting, we did a couple of interviews. So let's go and have a look at those now. First, Con with Kaiden Manders. At that time, your interview was a general interview about sprint cars and speed cars, because he did double duty. And then I caught up with young Harry Stewart. So let's go and have a look at those.
One of the most exciting drivers in West Australia, if not Australia, is Kaiden Manders. Kaiden, heartbreak high on the opening night. You're set for a big show, and luck didn't quite go your way, but tonight you're coming back have a crack at the Westernapolis. How do you feel?
I feel good. Yeah, the team feels good. So yeah, doing double duty tonight. So big night for us. The track looks like it's in awesome shape. So can't wait to get out there.
Now you're a very accomplished speed car driver as well as a sprint car driver. Deep down, what would you rather be driving? Do you prefer speed cars or sprint cars?
Speed cars are always number one in my heart. I think I would love to give speed cars the stage that the sprint cars have. They produce the best racing, but at the same time, sprint cars are a hell of a machine to try get around there too. So a lot of horsepower. So I just like going racing. So I'll take whatever I can get.
That's right. Now, so when you jump out of a speed car, which is a 163 cubic inch motor to a 410 sprint car, I know you notice a difference, but how does the power feel?
It's pretty crazy. Obviously, sprint cars have a lot of downforce, which kind of nullifies their power a little bit, somewhat. But yeah, it's still a massive difference. So yeah, got a big task ahead of me tonight running both, but got a good crew behind me, so we should be okay.
And Dan Golding, he's really come up with the goods. That's a magnificent setup, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Dan Golding, the way he does everything, the way he runs his business, the way he runs his race team is second to none, and that really shows with this presentation. And Liam Spitzer as well, our crew chief, he does an awesome job. So I'm really excited to get out there with these DGR cars and see what we can do.
Now, in the off-season, you went to America. Unfortunately, God only gave you half the events because it got washed out in the Midwest of America right in the middle of their summer. But you did have a chance to race. But the competition is red hot, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's really tough. You know, we raced with Extreme Outlaw and of course USAC Midget Week, which is yeah, probably the biggest kind of speed car racing you can do over there. And we had a ball. We learned a lot, and man, we just hope that we can you know, get to go over there next year with all that we learned, and I feel like we'll be a lot more competitive.
Now, all the race fans tonight would like to see you go one in the Speedcar Title, and then one in the Sprint car to win the Westernapolis, and it'd be good to see if your dad come second in the speed cars.
Yeah, that'd be unreal if that happened.
That'd be the reverse of father-son or son-father.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
All the best, like.
Thank you very much.
And now here's the Queenslander, Harry Stewart.
Well, Harry Stewart, defending WA Speedcar Champion, WA Speedcar Title tonight.
Yep.
Big night for you. Second night here at this season anyhow.
Yeah.
You couldn't get the car underneath your last time out here at the Motorplex. Have you got any little issues sorted?
Yeah, I think so. So a few things throughout the night we changed and chased, and definitely got better in the feature race and towards the end. And then just me and myself, like figuring out that sort of track that we had. It was pretty technical, and I was probably a bit slow to figure it out. And hopefully I can do a better job of that tonight.
Now, as I understand, you missed the dash because you had a battery issue, so that put you on the back foot for a start.
Yeah.
And we keep on forgetting here in Perth that this is only your third. That was only your second night here at the Motorplex. This is your third.
Yeah.
You're only 21, and you're not. You haven't got a huge amount of experience in speed cars.
No. I've I guess last year was probably my full season in a speed car. I mean, we had a lot of rainouts in Queensland, so I think we only did like 5 shows, and then Murray Bridge did 2 weekends, and then came over here for that 1 weekend. So and then a few off and on the past 3 years, like just with bits and bobs. But yeah, mainly been running the White Family Sprint car back in Queensland, and then my first year at 16, I was in a compact speed car, which you guys don't have over here, but they're over there, and they're just a speed car with a bike motor. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Now, how does it feel to be, the first Queenslander to win a West Australian Speedcar title? On your first night here at the Perth Motorplex in the Graeme Jones outfit, you steal the title from us.
Yeah.
At a relatively, you're only 21 now, aren't you?
Yeah.
How does it feel to have a WA title under your belt?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't really, it's probably the past week when the Facebook page has been putting up all the winners and all that, and I was looking at the other guys who haven't, or won one from like New South Wales and Victoria, and like when the last time, I think it was Adam Clark in like 2013 when he won it, and then someone else won, I don't remember his name, but years, like a while ago. So that's, it's pretty cool, and then being the first one from Queensland is also pretty cool. And,
Sure.
Probably the past week I've sort of realised how cool it was, and hopefully.
Your name now, whatever happens from here on, your name's etched in history, isn't it? That's the good thing about being a WA title winner.
Yeah, no, it's certainly pretty cool. So.
Now, moving on to tonight, you've ironed out a few things on the car. I've just been speaking to Graeme Jones a moment ago.
Yeah.
The track's a little bit moist from a lot of rain last night.
Yeah.
Are you going in full of confidence?
I mean, it's probably pretty hard not to when you're in like this good equipment and such good people around, and obviously they know their way around this joint, so it's it leaves, I'm sort of just got to do my job, and I'm confident we can be back up there where we were last year. So.
Well, maybe at the end of the night we'll be here talking to you again as a defending and successful WA champion.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, Harry Stewart there. We'll go to a quick break and we'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
At Maddington Toyota, we're all about great deals, value, quality and service. Head to our website for quality new, demo and pre-owned vehicles with videos so you can find your perfect car. We can organise the details by phone and email and deliver the car right to you. Check out the entire Toyota range, plus a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, all backed by our real commitment to great service. Maddington Toyota, great deals and great service. Oh, what a feeling.
Saturday night is Sprint Car night. Sprint cars, and more sprint cars. It's the Scarterfield Smash King of Wings. Defending king, Dane Kingshot takes on Williamson, Kendrick, Mayola, Madsen and Oldfield. Sprint cars best battling out for 40 grueling laps with a pit stop. The 44th Scarterfield Smash King of Wings. Saturday, November 15 from 6. Bring your family, bring your friends. We'll bring the wings. Grab your tickets, motorplex.com.au. You'll be there.
And welcome back to Let's Talk Speedway. Con Migro Graeme Sinden with you. And Con, we move now on to the Westernapolis Sprint Car event itself. And wasn't that a great A-main feature race?
Talk about your bang for your buck. We saw everything. 26 cars started the race, which is two more than they normally put in a race, but it was helter-skelter. Took about 15, 20 minutes to get the race underway, but when it got underway, we witnessed some champagne speedway, particularly from Callum Williamson coming off position 16 and just blew the field virtually apart with the exception of Dane Kingshot, who was not going to be caught by anyone.
Well, I think there was 5 restarts, if I'm correct, and then there was 26 laps of green, which is great racing from then on. And I mean, Dane did everything right, didn't he? He took off, he earned himself pole position, he took off and was never headed, although Callum reined him in. And I think if there was another, 2, 3, 4 laps, Callum might have even caught him. But look, he didn't. That was the length of the race. Dane Kingshot had it under control, but it was a brilliant performance from Callum Williamson.
Yeah, he was, and Dane is such a capable driver. I'm very impressed with him. He's not only a nice guy, he's also a very clever driver, and he drives his brain as well as his foot, and I think that's the reason why he is so good. He doesn't panic. I've said that twice or several times in the past, I should say, but the more I see him, the more I see what a great driver he has developed into.
Well, let's have a look at some of those great performances we spoken about. Callum Williams had an engine change prior to the A-main event. He had to work his way in through the mid-pack dash and all of those sort of things to get into the field. He started out 16th and finished up in 2nd after an engine change. I thought that was just dramatic.
It was magnificent, and that was where the fans got their bang for their buck. And we got the bugles up there on the top turn going for a bit more this time. But as you said, you made a comment before we come on air today, and I think it's worth mentioning that you could imagine the stresses and strains that was going through Callum's motor. A brand new motor, 12 practice laps on the Wednesday night. They get out there on the racetrack. He does hot laps, time trials, and it blows. They have to change the motor, but it took them a little while to find that the motor was blown because they apparently thought it was something else because it's a brand new motor. So then they had to put the spare in, and they just got ready in the nick of time. So next time it ran was right in the A-main. Quite amazing.
That would put huge pressure on you. Your mind would be thinking of all things. You'd be listening for noises and doing all sorts of things. And to gather himself up and to race like he did from 16th position to finish up in 2nd, and a close 2nd, it was a great performance. Another great performance, Con, was that of Chris Coyle, who started in 13th position and wound his way up to 4th. That was a great drive as well.
Well, I think Chris has definitely matured as a driver. He's driving more with his head, and that's most important. It might sound stupid to say that, but it's the truth. The car is magnificent. Jono's doing a great job in the presentation and the crew chiefing part of the job, and Chris is now driving. And I think he's a lot more relaxed person at the moment, and that's the reason why he's getting his performance out on the racetrack better than he's ever done.
Michael Keane, a sensational drive from the young fellow. Well, he's, I don't know how old he is, but he's young compared to us, Con.
He's a class act.
12th to 5th. How good is that?
Yeah, well, as you know, I like him. He's a cheeky little bugger, but he's a hell of a racer, and I'd love to see what he does. As his season goes on, I can see some big things coming his and Stevie Duggan, who owns the cars, way, because they're such a good team.
Well, we did tip him early in the season to be a top performer, so it doesn't surprise me he's doing what he's doing. And I have spoken to Steve, and Steve says if he gets on the podium, it'd be like a win. And Steve's not putting too much pressure on him. He's just allowing him to get out, providing him a good car, allowing him to get out and race the thing.
Well, if anyone was going to drive for any owner, I think Steve would have to be the one. He's a successful businessman. He's done very well in life, and he just talks to the guys just take your time. It's like an egg, you can't afford to break the shell.
Indeed, indeed. Now, Con, I wanted to show this because in a moment we'll have a listen to an interview with you and Bomber Lancaster, and on the top of that slide is Bomber's transporter. How good is it? It just is so spectacular when you look at it. And he's got a new prime mover coming, he told you during the interview. And down the bottom on the left there is Callum Williamson's merchandise trailer, brand new, although he had it for the first night out. I understand it's all being stickered up, and there's Callum's transporter and his car. These guys spend a lot of money making sure that they present well, don't they?
And I'll tell you a little thing, I love Callum Winston's paint job this year. It sticks out, and he got away from the black, and I think that the grey colour is brilliant for television, and he's someone who's got behind the marketing of that particular car, have picked the right mark there, haven't they?
Oh, absolutely. Well, Con, let's now go to two interviews that you did at the Perth Motorplex on Saturday afternoon prior to the meeting. The first one will be Bomber Lancaster, and then our second one will be Jason Pryde. So here's Con with Jason Pryde and Bomber Lancaster.
Well, one of the busiest motor racing men on the planet would have to be Jason Pryde, whether he's not racing speedway in the summertime. He's road racing in the winter. Jason, good to see you, mate. Second night of the Motorplex.
Yeah, it's good to be here, Colin. Just back at the Motorplex. It's close to home and, yeah, one of our favourite places.
Now the Westernapolis tonight, a big race, strong field, very good cars. You've been renowned to be a very good lap timer. The last time you dropped your colours a little bit, but you're ready to go tonight.
Yeah, I think so. We come here on Wednesday for practice and tuned up a few things. We had a different engine in the car for opening night, so I think we've got that sorted now. And yeah, hopefully we'll start the night off well by qualifying up the front, and then get through the heats.
Now, sprint cars in Western Australia, we've seen them go from strength to strength to strength to strength, and like last week we had 28 cars. I think we've got 30 tonight. The fields are very strong in Western Australia, aren't they?
Yeah, strongest in the country by a long shot now. It's been a long time coming, but credit to the SCG and everyone involved and the Motorplex, and yeah, it keeps getting tough every year, which is awesome.
Now, do you think we're going to get a summer? Because at the night here at the moment, it rained yesterday, and tonight it's quite cool. So does that help your engine as well, and does that affect you as a racer?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. It's unusual to have rain this time of year. Like, we had a lot of rain last night, and it is something a lot different. So it'll be interesting which way the track goes, but it's the same for everyone. So we just got to figure it out and make the right decision at the right time.
Well, always at the beginning of the year, like the track's pretty soft, as you know, and a fair bit of clay floating around. But then when you get to summertime, you wish for a bit of weather like this. So tonight you've got a big race. You're looking to be at the point end of the stick for sure, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We want to be in the top 5, and if things go away, get on the podium. That's what we're here for. So.
Now, you do run a massive business. How do you get time to race sprint cars and road race in our winter, or Australian winter? You must be 10 people.
Yeah, it's really tough, to be honest, but it's I've got to do something to clear my head to get away from work, and motorsport's certainly a good way to do that. You can't think about work when you're driving race cars. So very fortunate, I've got a great team with Cody and Chanel and everyone that helps get the race team ready, and whatever cars we're racing, they make sure they're there and prepped on time, and I just turn up and get to drive them.
And Robbie Farr, I see you clash with him. You had him in your team a couple of years ago. He's a former Australian champion, but he's also battling on the bitumen with you as well. Yeah,
it's quite surreal how things pan out. Yeah, we got into the TA2 stuff and the Trans Ams, and he sort of joined us there, and we got to team up together for an endurance race at Queensland Raceway a couple of months ago. Correct. So that was pretty cool. So we really enjoyed that.
Well, listen, mate, I know you've got to get your car ready for tonight. Thanks for giving us the time. Wish you all the best, and there's someone you'd like to thank?
Just obviously thanks to Cody and Chanel and the team, and Josh and Dan and everyone that helps out, and obviously all our sponsors that help make this team happen.
Good on you, Jason. All the best for tonight.
Thanks, Scott.
Well, one of the keenest drivers in West Australia is Ryan Bomber Lancaster. Ryan, good to see you, mate.
Thank you. Yeah.
Now, Ryan, you're a hell of a driver. You've been a national champion in motorcycles. In Speedway, you have taken a fair bit of time to cut your teeth, but you show a very good turn of speed. All you need is really, I think, a little bit of luck to go your way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Just need myself to put the night together from qualifying to the end of the feature race. We've definitely seen a bit of bad luck, but I guess you do create your own luck, and yeah, just got to be a bit more consistent and get to the end.
Well, the unfortunate thing about last week or fortnight ago when you crashed in the A main, it wasn't your fault. You were a passenger that came in, which was caused by someone else. And I know won't dwell on it, but that's heartbreaking. And I felt heartbroken for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw Chris quite early in that, but obviously on the fence and you're wide open, try to slow it down as much as we could, but you had nowhere to go. But that's all part of it. It happens, and yeah, I cop that on the chin and move on.
Of course. Now, I know we don't want to talk about bad luck that happened to you, but during the winter time in Western Australia, you were trying out a new fire system for safety for the race cars, and unfortunately, you were the first guy to try it out, and you got burnt.
Yeah, it's a bit of a long story with a few things that went wrong that day. Obviously, the initial thing was the fire, and then the manual side of the pin didn't fire. We won't dwell on any of that, and a bit of a delay with the fire crew, and I unfortunately was the person who copped it.
And you spent a considerable amount of time in hospital.
Yeah, a good couple of weeks in hospital. Big shout out to Fiona Stanley and the burns unit there. Wonderful staff. Had to have an operation and a few skin grafts, but I was really well looked after, and we're very spoiled to have such a good healthcare system.
Now tonight we've got the Westernapolis, a time-honoured event in West Australian Speedway as far as sprint cars are concerned. You're up against another top field. 30 odd cars have nominated the game tonight. The numbers are awesome. How do you reckon you'll go?
Good, yeah, I'm keen. I'm feeling really good. Body's good now. My legs are slowly healing, so I'm always keen. I like to gas it up. I'll always have a go. So ready to have a good race.
Now I must compliment you. I reckon you would have to have one of the best transporters in Australia, and the sign writing on the sides looks $1 million. Good on you, mate. It must make you feel pretty proud, because if you jump in a race car, you must feel good. And come back to a transporter like this, it's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm very spoilt with my parents. They obviously wanted to have a new truck. I don't think I'm quite worthy as a driver just yet, but they like nice stuff and they work very hard to have it, so we're very lucky.
Good on you, mate. So all the best tonight, and all the best the rest of the year, and that bad luck, put it behind you.
Let's hope so.
Well, welcome back to Talking About Speedway. Con Migro and Graeme Sinden here with you. And Con, let's move on now to our Buoyant Up Sellers Sprint Car Driver of the Year award. And whilst we're not going to give too many points away just here, you'll have to tune into the Spirit of Speedway on 6:21 AM Bunbury, SEN Radio Network. But boy, is that starting to hot up already, and it's only 2 meetings old, Con.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be a pretty easy task, because I'm one of the people that vote on it. But it's probably one of the hardest jobs I have after a race meeting, to try and pick out the points for the guys that deserve them. There are a lot of guys that don't get points that also deserve it. It's a real dilemma.
Well, as you say, on any one night, you could vote for 10 or 12 people, Con, but we're restricted for 3, 2, 1 votes, best, second, and our third vote, and that's a devil of a job. I also, like you, am a judge for that, as is Sheldon Hart, and he's, I think, spoken to both of us over the weekend and indicated what sort of a job it is for him. But look, already there's a pattern starting to emerge, I can tell you that. Tune into the Spirit of Speedway, and then we can show you a little bit more of, and tell you perhaps some of the points there, but it's really starting to hot up already. A great competition, and we thank King Chrome and Assured Learning Australia and Buoyant Up Sellers for putting that on and providing the trophies and prizes, as we do the Figlamini family for the Michael Figlamini Trophy.
Yeah, a magnificent award to win.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to win it, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Con, shall we move on now? There's plenty of the good racing, and let's have a look at some late model stuff now. Warren Oldfield, spectacular all night long. How does he do it?
Yes, he's 2 from 2 this year. Now he's not going to race until Christmas time. He and Jamie are off to America. They're going to do the indoor late model race. He was telling me, I think it's up in Pennsylvania way. I'm not too sure, so don't shoot us. They are both off to America, and whilst there, no doubt he'll be looking at new parts for that car, and a new engine. He's got his good motor in that car this year, and he's just absolutely blitzing the fields.
Also some good racing in wingless sprints, but let's go back to late models, because I want to talk a little bit about some of those races. They were just so good. I mean, we'd spoken about Warren Oldfield for argument's sake, but Joe Chalmers in the A main hammered him all the length of the feature race. And I also wanted to talk about Bo Oldfield, who won a heat race earlier in the evening, and I understand, I might be wrong, but I understand that was his first heat win at the Perth Motorplex in the number 11 car.
And in the feature race, he was running in a prominent position and cut a tyre down, and that put him on the sidelines. And another guy, David Nylander, he is just magnificent. He was so disappointed after the night. And that's one of the problems when you're up on the wall. That's the price sometimes you pay. And sometimes you've got to just get down off the fence a little bit. But David's matured enormously as a driver. And as you say, Bo Oldfield, I can see a big future from him. So I think for the next 20 or 30 years, the Oldfield name's going to grace our speedway.
Well, certainly he looked really comfortable. He was under pressure, but you wouldn't show it. I mean, he's fairly immature as far as these big bangers, and he's handling them like a veteran, isn't he?
Yeah, and one thing I must say about the Late Model Association, I'm a bit critical of the wingless cars. Their paint jobs are good, but their numbers are poor. And you only have to take a leaf off the book of the late models. They have brilliant numbers, and it's very easy for fans. You've got to forget about what you like. It's what the fans see. And if they can't pick up your number in what's going on in the program, it's very difficult. I don't mean to knock you guys, but please just be a little bit smarter with your numbering of your race cars so that fans can pick them up, because they've got a program and they work from that, and it's important that we be able to see them.
Connor, I thought other good performances on the night in late models were Ken McPherson. He was good all night long, I thought. No Jamie Oldfield on Saturday evening, and no Rod Massara, but the racing was still spectacular. And as I say, Joe Chalmers, I thought he did a sterling job, and it's good to see Brent Vosbergen back in town with the third position in the feature.
He said he didn't deserve for running third, but he did a great job. The other two Oldfields were in Melbourne at a conference, and they unfortunately missed the show on the night, but look, the late models are really developing into a big card draw. They're just bloody magnificent at the moment.
I couldn't agree more, Con. In fact, sometimes they steal the show despite that, despite how good the 410 sprint cars are.
Yeah.
Con, we'll go to wingless now, and Iwano, that's Matthew Iwano on this occasion. No bloke on Saturday night, but he stole the march on the feature race on the last corner. I think he caught Darren Humphrey napping somehow, and
50 minutes from home.
Yeah, and Hayden Hicks from Byford, he was in third position. A good drive from him.
Love the new paint job on Iwano's car, and yes, he is a class act. He's one guy that I've been surprised that no one sort of picked up and said, look, I'd like you to drive my speed car or have a go in my sprint car. I think that's how good he is. But look, thank goodness he's in the wingless cars, because he does a great job. The other young guy, Humphrey, would have to be very disappointed. He led for 20 and a half laps or something for the 20-lap race and get pinged on the line. But, to finish first you've got to finish.
And 33 cars nominated. That's a huge field, isn't it?
There was probably another 33 that could have got down there on Saturday night. So, it's a very healthy position to be in. And with the national titles being held at the Motorplex later in the season, there'll probably be 100 cars.
Oh, dear, oh dear. Yes, indeed. So, Con, I think wingless are on a roll at the moment. Yep. I'm looking forward to their season as it unfolds.
Yes, I am too.
91.3 Sport FM, Let's Talk Speedway, 1 o'clock Wednesday afternoon, and that will be repeated 8 o'clock Wednesday evening. It's nice that they do that for those people that can't tune in on the afternoon. And then, of course, the Spirit of Speedway on our Sports Entertainment Network, the Spirit of the Southwest, 6:21am, 2 o'clock Friday afternoon, and that's where we'll reveal some of our sprint car Spirit points.
And that we're also going up into the Kalgoorlie region this year, which is part of the SEN network. So we give a pretty near statewide coverage, and it's a very good show, not because Graham and I are doing it, but we believe it is, and it's a tremendous service that we're able to provide for the speedway industry.
And Con, coming up not next Saturday, the 15th of November, the Scarterfield Smash Repairs King of Wings. I love this event. It's always a beauty, isn't it?
Yes, it's an event that's captured the imagination of everything and everyone, and every driver in that field on Saturday the 15th will want to have their name. Frank is such a generous sponsor, and no doubt he'll have something special for the drivers at the presentation time.
Traditionally, Con, a 40-lapper with a pit stop in between. Yeah. I think that's going to be the case this year as well.
Yes, they have a pit stop in the middle of the race on the infield, and it gives the fans an opportunity to see how pit crews actually work. and you'll see and have a look at some amazing men do some amazing things. It's quite amazing that to think that they can change motors between heats like we saw the other night with Williamson, that these guys can do these sorts of things.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Con, we've got tons more to speak about. We could go on for another hour here without shadow of a doubt. But just recapping again, I'd have to say that meeting was as good as you'll see anywhere, anytime.
Yes, I'm extremely impressed. And a couple of old guys with the Speedway last night, Kim Ledger, Trevor Mann, Keith Mann, Mark Glazebrook, ex-champion speedcar drivers, John Fenton, and they are all amazed. In fact, Trevor Mann hadn't been to the Motorplex because he lives in Busselton now, and he was saying that he thought that Clement was going to be hard to replace. Well, he's come to me at the end of the night and said, wow, I couldn't believe how good that was, and the racing was sensational. That's the very thing. So if you haven't been to the Speedway, get down and have a look.
And Con, as a special guest, you had Steve Magro with you.
Yes.
Unfortunately in a wheelchair these days, but a
Yes.
cracking racer in his day.
Yeah, young Stephen got tragically hurt racing motorcycles, and he's now a paraplegic. And the funny thing about it, he sat in school next to Anthony Albanese, the Prime Minister of Australia. They both went to Marist Brothers, Sydney, and Stephen's now a journalist in the speedway industry, and he was visiting Perth, and he was our guest.
And just while we're talking about that, and it's hardly speedway, but I noticed his wheelchair goes up and down, so he's not affected by people sitting in front. He pushes the button, up goes his wheelchair, and he's also got a heated blanket arrangement that he puts on, and he needed it on Saturday night. It was freezing down there.
God, it was.
Well, thanks for your company. That brings us to the end of another show. You've been watching Talking About Speedway, and we'll look forward to your company again this time next week. Bye for now.